Can you hear me? Okay, give me 1 second while you've been muted, so let me put you back onto. No, now you're not. Oh, you're working and listening too. Multitasking you learned at Vassar. Try that. No. Try that.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right. No, I didn't hear. What was the question? Are you asking me a question?
What did you learn about yourself, or what skills did you bring forward? Do you think you've used now? What did you learn in the past?
Well, for me, the most wonderful experience was the fact that I had the freedom in the drama department to put on a play that was totally different and totally avant-garde. And from then on, actually, since I was bilingual, I was uncomfortable with either language. So I wrote a pantomime show, which was very, very successful at Vassar. And somebody wanted to film it. And that was really the start of my career, because it was very cinematographic. And it was thanks to Vassar that I was able to do that. And you know, to me, that will be forever a very treasured moment, because it was an experimental theater. I'm sure it is not as well, but under Miss Heinlein years and years ago. And so that was a unique occasion. So that was my experience, which Vassar gave me, among others, because learning everything that had to do with with what became film. I mean, the art department, the history of art was so incredible, and the history of music, and all the teachers were so wonderful. I can't deny that.
I think we've got about. We have about 5 more minutes, and I want to ask if there's anything lingering. Eugene, jump in. Go.
Did anyone here write a senior thesis and find it useful later? How did you find it useful?
Interesting two-part question. Did you have to write a senior thesis, and was it useful to write a senior thesis? Sarah?
I did. I think it was required of my major, and it was extremely useful. Just the exercise itself was incredibly useful. I think it had to be a minimum of 60 pages or something, so it was quite a substantial thesis. And I wouldn't give it up for the world. It was the hardest thing I had to do while I was here at Vassar. You're really sort of thrown into it. A lot of advising from the faculty, but it's really your piece to take it however you can take it. And in the end, I haven't, it's not been published or anything. It's covered in dust somewhere. I don't even know where it is. But I'm proud of it, and I think it's still the hardest thing I did, but yet the most fulfilling thing I did. And at the end, you have something you can actually hold and say that you've done it. And I've actually put it on my resume so people can see that that was part of your degree. And I think that is quite. I'm actually surprised that people don't do theses as much as we do here, and I would recommend doing it.
I had to do a thesis as well, and I decided to go out. I interviewed Pentecostals, and I wanted to know more about our community. So I learned about, I also learned that we were an IBM community as well as Pentecostal. There's quite a few Pentecostals around here. I loved the exercise because I learned how to do something independently. And I was so afraid of failing that thing that hours went in and I ended up getting a distinction. And that was a very proud moment. So yes, I like you, believe it's a great exercise, and you will grow from it, and you will be proud at the end.
I think what we'll do is make this the last question and have everybody speak.
So no, I didn't write a thesis, but I actually wish that I had, and I think that for those of you that are thinking of going on to graduate school, should you decide to pursue a thesis, I think it's a piece of work that you would include in your portfolio that you could make reference to in your personal statement. And I think it would also help you find who you would like to work with as far as mentors at your prospective graduate institute. I did get a chance to write a master's and a dissertation though once I was in graduate school. And the dissertation, the final length was 393 pages. And it was like having as Sarah had mentioned, it's definitely something that the relatives keep on the coffee table, and every now and then, and when you have a long day and you forget who you are, you look at your bookshelf and you move forward.
393 pages could be the bookshelf. Justin.
Sorry, okay, got two of them. So I didn't have to write a thesis per se as a biochem major. I did have a senior project, and that was more or less just another class that I did. I did, however, do my own research project with one of the chem professors, and I sort of treated that as an unofficial thesis, which you know, looking back, that definitely was a valuable experience, because I found myself doing that research project. I found that I was looking for answers to questions that I actually cared about, as opposed to like answering questions for, you know, a math class or a chemistry class, which was going to the professor. Like these were all things that I wanted to do as part of my own project, and I think, you know, like the actual, like the knowledge that came from that project isn't so important to me as like having those questions that I was actually interested in answering, you know. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay.
I had to write 2 theses because I was a double major, and I will echo Sarah's sentiment that just the practicing the craft of writing is probably what I valued the most from that. I think I might have thrown them away. They're somewhere on my bookshelf. And I'm looking forward to grad school where my thesis will be photographs this time around. And just to end it on, I would like to share with you that I believe the Soros Foundation, for those of you who are not US citizens, is a potential resource for you to look for funding for graduate studies. And so I just remember that, and I wanted to share that. The Soros Foundation?
How do you spell it?
S-O-R-O-S.
Maria Cross, did you have to write a thesis?
I do not remember. Sorry about that one.
That's an incredibly honest answer to that question. But